I want to talk about accountability. Accountability is one of these terms that I think is being lost in our families today, especially, but really in light of the environments that we work in and all those types of things. In order to have success, we need to be held accountable. There's three types of accountability. There's ownership, taking ownership in what you do. There's the results, basically justifying your results. Accountability, we have to have accountability so that we can justify how we're doing, how things are progressing, and that they're moving forward. And accountability also means that we're working towards a common goal. I think as parents today, we're doing a huge disservice to our children because we're not holding them accountable. And because we're not holding them accountable, now they become adults and now they don't like being held accountable. My daughter this last week came to me with a scenario where she was trying to manipulate a situation. Now, she didn't believe that that's what she was doing, but ultimately that is what she was doing. And she's telling me about it. And she's telling me how a friend confided in her. But then she was so frustrated with the scenario, she ended up going to the friend that this person was talking about and explained exactly what was happening. Well, what she was doing was she was tired of dealing with conflict. So to resolve the conflict, she was like, I'm just going to get this all out in the open. But it wasn't her place to get it out in the open. So she's having this conversation with me. She's crying. She's frustrated. And the reality is I'm listening to her. I'm going, oh, my goodness, this is your fault. This isn't your friend's fault. This is your fault. They're frustrated with you because they trusted you with some information and you used that information against them. Now, she wasn't very happy with me when I said that, but here's what I did, kind of taking a next step approach. I said, now here's what I want you to do. I'm going to hold you accountable to going back to those friends and saying you were wrong, that you shouldn't have had that conversation, and not going back going, well, because of this scenario, and giving all the excuses, but actually going back to them with a sincere heart and saying, I made a mistake. I was wrong. Will you forgive me? She did end up calling me back and letting me know that she did that. And over time, those relationships will actually be stronger because of that. But it was important that I hold her accountable to the mistakes that she made, not just oh, honey, I'm so sorry. They shouldn't be treating you like that. You're right. You're so right. The truth is when they're wrong, you need to let them know that they're wrong. I know a mom who is constantly trying to protect their son. She thinks her son's the greatest thing since sliced bread in all sports. And the reality is that her son's just an average athlete. And in most cases, he's not even that good. And coaches keep explaining that to the young man, but he doesn't get it. And he comes back to mom, and then mom gets mad at the coach. And instead of mom taking a step back and going, well, wait a minute, maybe these coaches do know something. Why is it that all the coaches keep saying the same thing, but my son says something different? Well, the reason is because we don't want to hold them accountable. All we want to do is protect them. Well, our job is to protect them. And part of protecting them is holding them accountable to what they do, what they say, how they act, how they respond. Maybe your son in that situation just needs to learn how to walk through life when things aren't easy. Don't you think it'd be better to hold them accountable so they're ready for that when they're adults? Because I'm telling you right now, if we don't prepare them for that now, then there'll be the situations like I'm in today where when I hold someone accountable, they complain about it and they get frustrated and they get irritated, and all of a sudden I'm not easy to work with. See, accountability is extremely important. It really is the environment of success. There are 6 things I want to share with you. And these are problems caused by a lack of accountability. Number 1, low quality of work. Oh my goodness. I think we think that the quality of work will be greater if we just let them do what they want to do. The truth is that they need to be held accountable. They need to be held to a higher standard, or they're not going to meet that standard. If they can't handle the pressure, then they just need to get out. They need to get out of the kitchen like they talk about. Decreased productivity. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how hard and difficult this is with some of the younger people that I work with today. Their productivity has been decreased because they can't handle the pressure. Well, they can't handle the pressure because mom and dad didn't prepare them to be able to handle the pressure. They were never held accountable before. The other thing is that we think that by protecting and making things okay, that they won't leave. The truth is that your turnover rate is much higher when you don't give them accountability. The fourth thing is disengaged employees. Disengaged meaning that they're going in their own direction. If you don't hold them accountable, they start doing what they want to do. And here's the thing, most people need someone to drive them and push them in direction. For us, camp numbers are important, or our Bible Institute or colleges numbers are very important. Our donor relationships are very important, growing that donor base. Well, I'm very dependent on marketing to grow all of those things. But if we can't hold them accountable to specific numbers because it makes them feel agitated or irritated, then I'm telling you, my boss is going to come to me and say, why aren't you hitting your numbers? So for me, I need to hold the marketing team accountable to my numbers as well. So accountability is huge. Here's the other thing. Without the right accountability, there's low morale. I think we think that it's the opposite. If I don't put pressure on them, then they'll like me better and we'll be friends. Well, think about it like a parent. The more we are friends to our children and the less accountability that's there, when they become adults, what we have begun to notice is that they don't have the respect for their parents like they should. They have a low morale towards their life as their children. So in leadership, it's very important that we talk about accountability. We set goals. Now, it's okay to push the goals to a limit that will push them, and we may not hit those goals, but it's important to still have those goals as our driving marks, because if we don't, then what are we driving to? So I would encourage you, if you're someone that struggles with providing accountability as a leader, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your church, whether it's in your workplace, that you take a step back and remember the importance of accountability. Accountability is what drives us. Accountability is what puts us in a position where we're moving in the same direction. Accountability ultimately is what's going to hold our family unit together. So when you think about accountability, remember that we are a family, that we're working together, and sometimes the tough decisions in leading means that sometimes accountability means we need to let people go and get the right people in the right seats that we can hold accountable. Hope this was an encouragement to you. It's a big lesson that I'm learning today. And until next time, this is Chip Nightingale with Yes, You Can Lead, Life and Leadership Lessons. Love you guys. Talk to you later. See ya.